Hey, can you tell me what is Ozempic?
Sure. Ozempic is an actual diabetes. It's a drug that was approved to be used in the market, FDA approved for diabetes support. That was then turned and marketed as a weight loss drug. Um, and that doesn't really sound like commonsensical, but because this drug slows down the way a body breaks down certain hormones that are flowing, it now slows down the way the stomach breaks down food. And people are losing weight with this drug, but it has us because your stomach is not breaking down food as much, so you're going to be fuller much longer. And it sounds like a hack, but in actuality it's extremely dangerous because, as usual, you can't control a situation like that. Thousands of lawsuits that have literally had people's stomachs stop working, deactivated stomachs, so where they're now vomiting up week-old food, 2-week-old food, having to get emergency surgery, as well as it comes with, its own, excuse me, black box warnings about possible cancer, causing thyroid cancer, as well as a slew of other side effects that I'm very surprised that people are willing to risk you know for something that will just help them quote unquote lose weight. But the longer that I pay attention, I continue to see more side effects being taken to court for Ozempic, Wegovy. There's actually like a chain of, it's an injectable, drug that's supposed to regulate, production of certain hormone that's going to stop the stomach from breaking down food, which, it's, again, sounds like a good idea to slow down the metabolism, but not when you can't control it and then your stomach stops working completely.
That's the thing I don't understand because it seems like a recipe for disaster. You're using this thing to lose weight, but you haven't created a system to keep weight off. So it's like I take this thing, right? And I haven't changed my relationship to food. I don't have a consistent or sustainable workout schedule. So it's like, what's the difference between that? What's the thing when they staple your stomach?
I was literally gonna say
Yeah.
that's what comes to mind when you bring that up, and it needs to be addressed because they act like you do learn a bit about having to eat better in order to get that stomach staple surgery, but they really don't. It's like it might as well be a 15-minute crash course type of thing that they put people through, and they expect them to now have enough information to just regulate their eating. And I've seen countless Americans end up over just as large as they were before the surgery again, even with the stomach stapled, because of the fact that their relationship with food didn't change at all.
I've only seen one person maintain the weight after the surgery personally.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that got the surgery done, but everyone else is back to square one. Every single person.
Tragic, tragic. And like you said, it comes from the lack of learn again, not anyone truly understanding what a healthy lifestyle looks like. Of course, there's a ton of misinformation at this point in 2024. But when you do your own research and take it back, you really can peel it back. But unfortunately, drugs always seem to be the answer, and it's a drug that it really sets people up for failure, just like that weight loss surgery that people are undergoing. And literally, a lot of times the pre-existing conditions they had before end up so much worse because now you don't have much room in your stomach, and you're still addicted to these things. And so the only thing you ended up getting in your body now is poor quality foods and small doses of it. So you're more deficient, and you're only putting things in your body that enhance those deficiencies and strip you of more minerals over time.
And there's another aspect I noticed too, the mental aspect. Not all, not all people will put the weight back on. I've witnessed this, but for some I witnesses, they're demoralized spiritually and mentally when they put the weight back on. They're in a worse mental state when they put the weight back on from the initial thing.
So true. So true. It's incredibly anytime you make a promise to yourself and you don't follow through with it, you know, you're attacking your self-confidence. How you feel about yourself is going to go down over time, you know, the more that happens. And to you know, get committed to, you know, getting healthy, realizing that you have, you know, what the doctor usually says is a more of a life-threatening, you know, direction that you're heading into with your weight when it comes to those type of surgeries or these drugs that they're recommending. And, you know, to then end up literally back where you were after an entire ordeal like that, it's like a massive everyday lie for months or years, all coming down on you at once, you know, or building up more and more, playing on the psyche exponentially over time. Yeah, most people in general are already their own worst critic. You know, when it comes to the inner thoughts, most of them tend to be negative, and it's just a perfect storm to make it so much worse when your body ends up just back in that state, like you said, where it started, and you don't have any answers now because you did what you thought was going to be the one thing. So it's only natural that, you know, depression can come in heavily at that point, being as how you don't really know what a real option is going to be. And most people don't even think, you know, that a lot of people, they lament healthy foods so much because of their sugar and parasite, you know, heavy influxes, that they think that they rather not even be here than to eat fruits and vegetables. I've been, you know, told by some people or seen many people online with this stance, which is of course the most truly demoralizing place you can pretty much end up when it comes to nutrition, right? So